Hey, what's up and welcome everyone to another installment of the Warzone Academy, a series dedicated to making you a better Warzone player. If you ever see the chalkboard thumbnail or Warzone Academy in the title, know that we are getting into the nitty-gritty details to help you out. Now, in the past, we've covered things like best spots around the map for flanks, best settings to help you see better, and today we're talking actually specifically about a gun a lot of people are starting to try out, the RAM-7. Now, you guys know I love this gun. I'm not just jumping on the bandwagon. All the way back to my Season 1 of Warzone video, I talked about how this was my favorite AR in the game. However, after looking into some of the more finer details, the actual analytics behind this gun, I've started to realize we may actually be running it wrong. So, this is a traditional way we see everyone loading it up. The FSS Ranger, Monolithic Suppressor, VLK, the 50-round mag, and the Commando foregrip. And we're running it like a long-range AR. And I've started to realize this is a mistake. And here's why. Before we get into the numbers, let's just take a look at the recoil pattern that we get with this gun kitted out as best as possible. Even at close range, starting on the right-hand side, we almost make our way completely off the side. Now, we're going to be comparing this to the AMAX. And the reason we're doing this is if you're considering using the RAM at all, you're fundamentally accepting that you're using a gun with higher recoil for the trade-off of more damage. You're accepting the fact that you can handle the recoil. Hopefully you're aware of that. But you're going to get a faster time to kill. If you struggle with recoil, you should probably consider something like the Kilo, the M4, or the M13. So, we're comparing it to another gun that I've called the best AR in Warzone, which is the AMAX. Now, the AMAX does have a very strong recoil, but let's take a look at how it looks. A strong kick up to begin with, and then it stays very steady. My hands are completely still during all this. I did not affect either of those recoils. So a strong kick up, and then it starts to slow down and straight up. Whereas the RAM goes up and hard to the left. Now, one, the implications of this at range are pretty bad. You're going to be pulled off target very easily with the RAM. But more importantly than that, let's take a look at the actual numbers. When we go over here to the True Game Data site, we'll see that the RAM-7 actually has a slower time to kill at every single range, except for this little bit right here, than the Sierra 56 AMAX. The AMAX here is in pink. The lower is faster in terms of time to kill. Time is over here on the left. So at every range, except for right here, the AMAX is a faster time to kill gun. Not only that, it has an easier to control recoil because it's just straight up and down. So for that reason, I'm saying that there's no real reason to run the RAM-7. One, it's going to be harder to hit the shots at range because of that sharp over to the left. And two, statistically, it's just not as good as the AMAX. So why am I suggesting this gun to you at all? If I feel like the AMAX is better, why am I even advocating for this gun? Well, one, I think people should use whatever the heck they want, have a lot of fun in the game, and not be meta slaves. But two, there is a way that we can use this gun where it is completely meta and actually will change the way you play the game. Now, right now in Warzone, we all know it is the R90 meta. It's painful. No one likes to clear out buildings. It's almost as bad as the snake shot meta. I don't know if you guys ever remember the dual snake shots or the dual Renettis. You legitimately could not go into a building without getting fried instantly. It's not as bad, but the R90 meta is pretty rough. So, we're going to take a look at an alternative. We're going to start looking at running the RAM as an SMG. Now, some of you have seen this before, but we're actually going to adjust it quite a bit. This is the loadout that we have, and I'm going to show you why statistically it is better than the MP5, and it's going to blow your mind. So, the RAM-7 with a monolithic suppressor, no barrel attachment, Commando foregrip, 50-round mag, stippled pistol grip, which we'll talk about that in a bit, and tac laser. We're going to be comparing this to my final form MP5, MP5 that a lot of other pro players have picked up and started using as well. Monolithic integral suppressor, you can use a monolithic external as well. Merc foregrip, 45-round mag, 5 milliwatt laser, and sleight of hand. So, for this, let's jump into the numbers first. Looking over here, once again at the True Game Data site, we're going to be comparing both of these guns exactly as they're kitted. And look at this. Incredible. The MP5 loses to the RAM-7 at every single range under 10 meters. And if you want to see something even more impressive, if you consider aiming down sight, if you wanted to aim down sight before you started shooting, the RAM-7 is better at every single range when compared to the MP5. Now, a couple disclaimers here. One, this is obviously assuming you're getting all the way aimed down sight before you start shooting. Now, when am I not going to do that? If I'm sprinting around the inside of a building, clearing it. Nothing is going to beat the MP5, or at least the RAM isn't going to beat the MP5 in this situation. If we don't include the aim down sight, yes, the MP5 is faster. However, it's still pretty impressive to see that when you go to these stats, the aim down sight time of the MP5 is slower than that of the RAM-7. Now, something to keep in mind here, if you were to combine the sprint to fire speed or the attack sprint to fire speed and add that to the aim down sight, the MP5 is still going to be superior. So the RAM-7 is not going to be as snappy as the MP5, as we can see here. As I start to sprint around the map, if I try to sprint and aim down sight, that's not going to be as fast as sprint with the MP5. But if you solely compare the aim down sight time, the RAM is actually significantly quicker. Other things to consider. One, the hip fire is significantly smaller with the MP5 versus the RAM-7. We are not going to be using the RAM-7 to be hip firing when you've got something like the MP5 that's going to be a laser. So what we're keeping in mind as we're building this class is we are not using this to clear buildings. The reason why this class is becoming so prevalent right now, and the reason why this SMG class is so amazing, as I'll be showing some clips and some highlights and some victories here in a moment, is the RAM-7 is not meant to clear buildings. If you're in a sticky situation, if you're really feeling yourself, yes, you can get in there and absolutely melt down some people. I'll have clips of that as well. But this is being used in a situation where we want to avoid buildings like we're in the snake shot meta, because too many fire shotgun campers are all over the place. So the way I'm running this gun is, as you'll see in the rest of the highlights, I'm running it with the RAM-7 shortened up like this, and I'm also running it with an HDR. And this allows me to make rotations around the side of the map. I can have these extremely long-range snipes and take out squads from far away with the HDR, but I still have an SMG or a short-range AR that can absolutely fry at close range. Anything under 10 meters, it still outfries the MP5, MP7, etc., but it can still take damage for people at 50, 60 meters away. It's a dream for me. In the past, I had been running either the HDR with the RAM-7 fully kitted, and it felt too slow. With the FSS Ranger, it felt really sluggish. But now, I feel like I've got a really good compromise, because I hate running the HDR with the MP5, because then I'm stuck with this mid-range, let's say 20, 30 meters out. The HDR isn't fast enough to quickscope, but the MP5 isn't doing enough damage at range. And for me, the RAM-7 HDR meta is back. I've been having so much fun absolutely destroying lobbies with the RAM-7. And if you have not tried out the RAM-7 as an SMG, this is the way to do it. Guys, if you learned something from this video, found some new insight about actually running the RAM-7 a little bit different than some of your favorite streamers are telling you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit the like. Once again, I like to go into all the details. This isn't just subjective. I got X amount of kills in a bot lobby with it. I'm really going into the details, and I'm loving all the new things that I'm learning about these guns and the new metas we can help create. So if you enjoy that, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to drop a like if you enjoy the RAM-7 HDR meta. And of course, more Warzone Academy videos are heading your way later this week. The rest of the day's gameplay is going to be a highlight for me winning with this exact loadout. Quick little disclaimer, if you don't like the feeling of the RAM iron sights, a lot of people don't, you can trade out that stippled pistol grip for a red dot, which is something that I did in the highlights that you're seeing in the background. But that is going to cause you, a longer sprint to fire time, a longer attack sprint to fire time. So if you want it to feel snappier and you're really only doing this stuff at close to mid-range anyways, rock the iron sights. If you're wanting to do more of the mid-range and you're fine playing a little bit slower, you can throw that GI mini reflex on there. But after looking at the numbers, I really think that sprint to fire time is important for getting the RAM-7 to fry at close range. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I got a lot more content heading your way, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace. Now you're getting a little weird on me.
closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Granting requesting flyover.
UAV entering the AO. Losing ground. 5 remaining. Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply. Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone.
Right there.
Meet caliber here.
Gas is moving.
Grid is marked. Go for fire.
This is Striker 3-1. Good copy. Strike inbound.
Woo! I was not expecting to get that
Shots
sweaty.
Got really pretty guns. What blueprints are those? IceManIsaac, whoever this guy is.
Yeah, the RAM-7 is the Reticent, and then I don't remember the name of the HDR.
Wishing this was the real Iceman right now. Get me all pumped up.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
GG's, dog. GG's.
Thanks, brother.
Your beard is immaculate.
Hey, dude, I gotta shave it in like a week. I'm heartbroken, but thank you though.